Hi PMs. So we are going to be dive into the project. My name is Gloria Ojuku. For those of you that already know me, if you don't know me yet, I'm a product leader, and I also mentor PMs who are, trying to grow in their PM careers. Okay, so let's dive deeper into what we are here for. So today we are going to be looking at the first stage of this practical, of this project, which is the project is prototyping mentor discovery for Mentorfy. Now, before we start, this is an edtech problem or an edtech project. So if you want to gain experience and see how it feels to actually solve a problem as a PM for edtech, right? This is the right place to be in, and this is one of the challenges that we are going to be solving, and this is like a beginner challenges. We'll have like other challenges coming up, so if you want to join other of my challenges, this is also like a good place to be in. So first of all, we are going to be going through the problem, which is understanding. We are going to be looking at the problem, for this particular project. The first stage is empathy or understanding, the problem. So as a PM, before you dive into solving any problem or working on any project, it's paramount that you understand the the main problem. You understand, you go through the empathy stage basically, and that is what we are going to be doing in this first stage. So let's go through it. Mentorfy connects mentees with mentors across different skills. So think of these skills like digital skills, like virtual assistants, community management, software engineering, and so on. And also industries and career stages. So when we talk about industries, it doesn't have to just be only in tech. It can be in fashion, and other industries basically. And then we also have the career stages: beginner, mid-level, advanced, right? So currently new mentees often struggle to find mentors that match their learning goals quickly. So this is the main problem, right? So Mentorfy already exists, but the problem is that mentees find it difficult to find mentors that match their learning goals. So it's not like there are no mentors, there are mentors, but they struggle to find the ones that match with their learning goals quickly as well, quickly. So leading to frustration and lower engagement. And if you're used to edtech, solving edtech problems, you will know that engagement is like one of the key metrics you need to track for an edtech project. Not every time, but most times in edtech project you would have these metrics to deal with, which is engagement. If your learners are not engaging, it means a red flag, right? So your role in this project is you are the PM at Mentorfy, and your manager, your line manager has asked you to design and prototype a mentor. So what is the first thing you do when you're asked to solve this kind of a problem? So in case you don't know, that is why we are here. So this is also going to easily find mentors relevant to their goals. So the main thing is that when you're solving this, you're going to make sure that mentees easily find mentors relevant to their goals, explore mentor profiles effectively, right? So book a session or connect smoothly. So these are like the three main things that the users need to do before like they book a session. So the objectives is that you deliver a prototype of the mentor discovery flow along with the mini case study documenting your process and decisions. Your prototype should be user friendly, intuitive, and ready for internal review. Now, one thing that you should know in every PM project is data is paramount. For you to understand anything, you need to look into the data. It doesn't have to be the ones that are available. Sometimes it could be the ones that you have to go and find out yourself. So in this case, we are going to be looking at how you can actually get that. right? So let's look at what the first stage entails. So in this stage, assume you are you're onboarding a first time mentee or Mentorfy. You're going to be documenting the flow following: who is the mentee. So you need to understand who the mentee is. What problem are they trying to solve by finding a mentor? What frustration might they face when searching for a mentor? What does success look like for them after using Mentorfy? Note, you can find this by talking to 2 to 5 people who need mentorship or have gone through that process before. So mostly you know in the space, we mostly have come across people who have faced this problem. So you can easily find who to talk to get this data. I would have said let's work with assumptions, but I want you to work with data, real data, right? So the first thing you're going to be doing is, like I said, you're going to be understanding who this mentee is, or who are they, basically. So what you're going to be doing is, you don't have to do a lot of research. Basically, like I said, just find 2 to 5 people. 2 to 5 people are enough. So at the end of the day, you can come up with a persona, right? When you finish finding out these things, okay. So you need to look at things. When you're asking these people, when you're talking to these people, let me help you navigate the things that you need to focus on, right? Who are we designing for? Who are we prototyping for? So you need to know who these people are. You can focus on, like I said, 2 to 5 people. So 2 people are like enough, 3 people are enough, and thereabouts. So focus on one main mentee type now, for now. So first, is he a first time user? You need to find out, is he a first time user, or like someone who has been using this kind of solution before, has a specific learning, has a specific. You need to also look out for people who have specific learning or career goal, right? You also need to think about things like career stages. You need to know if these people are in their early career, mid-levels, career switchers, and all of that. And why are they looking for a mentor, right? And when they are looking for this mentor, is it time sensitive, is it urgent, or exploratory, or they have enough time to do this, right? So imagine like a junior product designer who wants mentorship to transition into a PM role. So imagine, it can also come from that angle. So what you can also look at, the core problems in this light. What makes finding a mentor hard? So don't just focus on people who have used a similar product. You need to also look at, in the manual process, there are a lot of people who look out for mentors. What makes it difficult for them, right? What makes it difficult for them? What has made it difficult for them, right? So basically, I'll use myself as an example. Years back, when I was looking for a mentor, right, one of the things that I struggled with was I couldn't even see people who had similar experiences as me, right? So then I was in Nigeria. Most people that I was seeing were not in Nigeria. So even if they would mentor me, right, our experiences were different. These people had power in their country, they had data. I was struggling with lack of enough data, lack of power, and all of that. So you could see that the similarities are not the same. So sometimes in mentorship, you need to find people who can actually understand the problems that you have gone through, right, somehow. So it doesn't have to be exact. The experiences do not need to be exact, but these things help. So this is just an example. So when you're looking out for your answers, you can also consider this aspect. The second thing is, okay, this is like something I want you to understand. What is like their emotional state and their frustrations when they are looking for mentees, right? So how do the mentees feel when they land, like when they don't get to see a mentor, right? So these are like frustrations, and all of that. So you can also look out for people who have explored similar platforms, when they land on the platform, what emotions do they feel? Finding out things like that can also help. Now, before you start, I need you to prepare a research guide on how you're going to do this. So, like the questions you're going to ask and everything. So, prepare like a research guide um, for each question. How are you going to ask them? And all of that. So your research should not be something that, like, this particular task is just 1 day, 24 hours. So this is like a sprint, as the name implies. This is a challenge, so you need to assume that you don't have time, so you don't have all the time, right? So after you find out what, so I'm just telling you the things you need to look out for from your research. I'm not going to tell you the questions to ask. That is where you need to get in to work. But yeah, with this guide I'm giving you now, you're going to be able to know the angle that you're going to come from. So when you're done with finding out the frustrations, I will need you to look out for, what does success look like to the mentee, right? Explain success from the user's perspective, from the research you're going to be doing. Success could mean something like, oh, I found someone who understands my goal. I found someone who had similar experiences as me. I found someone who feel confident. I feel confident booking a session. I feel confident that this person is going to, solve my problems. I'm excited, right? So these are like examples of what success could look for, like for in a typical, another success could be, oh, I can afford this person, because some mentees cannot afford some mentors. So, oh, I can afford this person, what he or she is charging, I can afford it. So these are some of the examples of what success could look like for a certain mentee, right? So when you're done with that, I need you to also look out for questions that answer acceptable empathy. So example, participants can okay, let's not go through that route. But basically, when you're done, you can submit a persona, right, or an empathy map. But yeah, a persona, I believe a lot of us already know what a persona looks like. So what you don't need to do, avoid crafting many personas, right? You don't need all those. A minimum of 2 to 3, like I said, is fine. Also avoid designing the solution. We've not gotten to the stage where we start designing the solution. Right now, we are still trying to understand the problem. We are still in the empathy stage, right? Avoid jumping into features, into solving features, into building features, right? And avoid writing generic statements. So if you can explain your mentee clearly, so from the research you're going to be doing, if you can explain your mentees, who they are, what success looks like for them, their frustrations and all of that, then it means you're gonna do well in this particular task. So you have between now and the 28th of this month, so 24 hours basically, to submit this task, right? So I'm gonna drop a video on how submissions work on Risely. So everything you're going to be doing on Risely, so at the end of this challenge, this platform will generate a what is it called now, a portfolio for you. So I'm going to also show you how to generate your portfolio for each project that you work on, right? And also, certificates are available for a fee. If you're interested, you can always grab your certificate. So let's get started already. So the challenge has officially started. That reminds me, do well to post your progress online. Today is the first day. Talk about what you're working on. You can even recruit people from your post that you're going to be asking the questions and all of that. If I see any of your posts, tag me so that I can probably like engage with your posts. Gloria Ojuku on LinkedIn, tag me, and also tag Risely. So let people know that while people are enjoying the Christmas, you're here getting your hands dirty. So I wish you success. See you in the next task.